Real talk, real talk, real talk with Tim McGee.
Slipping with a bitch, that shit so dry. Fuck the other side, them goofies finna die, they ain't gon' slide. Fuck the other side, bitch, I'm dropping wide. Fuck your guys, bitch, I'm dropping fast. Bitches die fast.
Chicago rapper by the name of James McGee Jr., age 27, was shot and killed early this morning, about 2:32 something in the morning, at a hotel party. Now, to those that don't know much about the Chicago scene, I do because I'm from Chicago, so I've been paying attention to a lot of the stuff from before Vine passed to FBG Duck. But his other name, James McGill's other name that he's known for is BCR Meezle or FBG Meezle. He is related to FBG Duck, who was killed a little under a year ago, last year in the Gold Coast in Chicago. And if you know anything about Chicago or the things that's been going on there, that was a rich neighborhood, but that just goes to show you the reach of people in Chicago. If they want you touched, they're gonna touch you. If you can be seen, you can be got. But anyways, he died hours after releasing a diss record or a diss single, diss video. And he talks about people, and I played a little bit of the clip earlier where he was talking about disrespecting those that ride out the 5-point stars. Those of you not from Chicago, if you don't understand, you know, traditionally the 5 and 6 have been fighting against each other, but you know, there's so many different generations in Chicago that live by different things. Like right now, you got the BDs and GDs fighting each other, and so many other things. So there's ops on all type of sides. So you know, you just never know which one of your enemies get the drop on you. But anyhow, he was, and that's the key thing, is that diss song that he did. Right after he dropped that, he went to a hotel party that was like on the west side, and at a hotel, that's the first thing. It wasn't even his hood, but he went to this hotel where it was 100 people present at the hotel, and he went there, and apparently a scuffle broke out between him and another group, and 7 people were shot, 1 died, and he was the one that died. That's crazy because he also was into it when his own homeboy, FBG Cash. You know, that's on record. You know, they on live and IG and everywhere they can post beef with each other. And a lot of people believe that it was a setup, and most times it is a setup. You know, you don't just like catch someone of that type of stature, you know, just slipping. You know, it's usually people been planning and plotting. I feel the same way about King Von's situation. And you got to be careful. I'm from Chicago, even though my mom took me and my family out of Chicago when I was 11. Trust me, in Chicago, living there from a child to 11, that's enough time to learn a whole lot of things that you ain't got no business learning. So I know how Chicago moved, and since I've been gone, I know it had evolved into something even more darker because I've been watching it, and I've been back many times since I have left there. So I know how Chicago is, and it's just like any other city when it comes to loyalty. People, your own homeboy would get the drop on you, you know. And in this situation, it could have been anybody. It could have been one of his homeboys he was beefing with. It could have been anybody from that 5, you know, that right under the 5-point star that heard that diss song, or any other person, or somebody from the BDs that heard it. It could have been anybody. He's at a party like that. They're on the 6th floor, and if you know anything about Chicago, gangsters have a tradition of occupying the 6th floor, just like Vice Lord have a history of occupying the 5th floor. You know, and if you look at what the report says, the police says that the investigation was on the 5th and 6th floor. So if you're at this party and you just drop a diss song, ain't no telling who was there. You got gangsters and you got vice lords. You know, some BDs, some GDs, some vice lords. You know, or whatever other 5% that right under the 5-point. So this is, I said before that becoming a rapper nowadays is like a death sentence. That's what it is. You go around and look around the country, all the rappers that are in their local city are getting killed. Same thing happened with my nephew, 20 years old, Ten of Money, up and coming Seattle artist. You know, his video got over 300,000 views now, but he was up and coming and making a lot of noise, and he also was killed 2 days before New Year. So rappers, it's almost like when we was coming up, rappers didn't get killed. You know, we was still talking about Shock of a Biggie and Tupac, but usually rappers were protected. They were like, you know, they're like our face cards. So you got to protect your face cards. And usually that's what rappers are. Athletes in the NBA, NFL that be connected to the hood, those are face cards. You know, and they're supposed to be sacred. You're not supposed to touch that. But now, rappers, it's ain't nothing off limits now. If you're a rapper, chances are you're gonna die faster than the cats that are in the streets because you're a target. People will sell you out for money or fame. I mean, it's like you watching these guys give their last videos. You know, you hear them talking and the next you know they dead. That's why I tell people, you can't be disrespecting the dead. Disrespecting the dead, that's just for the lame. I don't care who you are. Disrespecting FBG death is lame. Disrespecting King Von's death is lame. After you kill somebody and you out there beefing, man, let that shit go. That other shit is childish, man. Calling each other names and shit like that, because you don't think about the people's pain. Because when my nephew passed, it was piercing my heart to see the level of disrespect. Yeah, you see all the love, but you also see the other side. And we just didn't do shit like that when I was coming up. You don't disrespect the dead. If you hated somebody, okay, he's gone now. Let him rest in peace, because anything else you do is hurting the family and those that love him. And then what you do is now you make yourself a target, not just for his family, but even those who love his family that see what you're doing. You make yourself a target, so you don't know who's gonna hit you. You know, so I've been watching this Chicago shit, man. I'm from Chicago, you know. I got a list of all the things that happened in Chicago just this year. And in the days where you can just see all the headlines, shooting here, 3 here, here. I mean, it's just shooting, everything is shooting relating. And Chicago's trying to get away from that title, Chirac, but that's why they call it that, because it's almost like a war zone. That's all you see on the news is shootings. You know, so when you live in Chicago and you're a rapper, you gotta move differently. And that's what Duck thought he was doing when he was out in the Gold Coast, you know, but ain't nowhere safe in Chicago. That's a whole different level of gangsters. I know, I'm a product of it, so I know how cats get down. You know, you gotta respect everybody's gangsters. You know, and respecting a gangster means watching how you move, because you can't just be out here like you're not untouchable. That's what was so weird about how Von went. Von's a stepper, he know how this shit go. So he was wide open the way he approached him, and the way it was just not even, it wasn't in sync. It just wasn't how it should have went down. You know, you have to protect your life because that's your best asset. Duck thought he was doing that, but ain't nowhere safe when somebody want to touch you. And ain't nobody can be trusted when somebody want to touch you, because all they got to do is get close to you and you don't know who it may be. So, another tragedy. My condolences to all those involved in the family. And I'm going to keep on giving you my opinion, because the Chicago stuff really bothers me, you know, because I'm an OG gangster disciple. But I've been left the streets alone because it's growth and development. It ain't about that, man. I was hurt when Vine got killed, and I was hurt when Duck got killed, because me, I'm pro-Chicago. I'm White Sox, and I'm Cubs. I'm Bears, I'm Bulls, I'm the Blackhawks. I just root Chicago, even though I live here in Seattle. And everybody know I rep everything Seattle, because these are the two cities that made me. I was born in Chicago and moved here when I was a little kid, 11 years old, but all my family back in Chicago. So I've always been tied to it. So when I see the BDs and GDs fighting, and I know as an OG, a triple OG that been in the game for 30 years, I know, and I'm older than that, but I'm just talking about realistically how long I've been in the game. But I know that we're the Israelites, that our bloodline goes back to Africa in the Bible. Kings of kings and lords of lords. Christ told you that, and we know from Chicago that we are the kings and lords. His disciples on the six and our people's vice lords on the side. They vice assisting us. We both sons of kings. But that's what this battle is over. We was brotherhood at one time. And now you got all this fighting in Chicago. And you would think that in Chicago, these cats know this, but this is a young generation that they're not up on their knowledge. So it's a war zone. And when you're in a war zone, you ain't got time to learn knowledge and information. You just follow ranks like everybody else. My people perish because of lack of knowledge. And that's why we see all this chaos in the hoods and rappers dying, because people don't know who they are. And so if they knew who they are, they would see that, man, we're made in the image of God. Be polite to strangers, because many have entertained angels and God unawarely, which means that there are people with divine bloodline that is connected back to God walking around here, and we looking at outer appearance and we killing each other and don't even realize that we may be killing someone that God directly sent here. But that's what these cats is on. So I'm not even gonna get into all of that, you know. I got a lot to say about this. I'm gonna keep following this story, but it's messed up, man, that this happened to this brother. 100 people present, it don't matter, you know. Ain't nobody gonna be no witness, you know. So it's like you just watching all these rappers, you know. If you're a face card, if I was a rapper right now, I wouldn't even want to be on Instagram arguing with people and all that other stuff, because it's a setup. You know, it ain't about being scared. I grew up being a stepper and always being involved in shootings and been shot myself, so I know how that lifestyle goes. And so I already proved to cats from the front line, I'm not scared. It's not about being scared, but life is about growth and development, and the end of all things is when you die. Yes, there's a spiritual continuation, but not in this realm. What happens to you there don't affect you here. But everybody you leave behind is affected by you if you die. So I understood that I had to grow and develop. And I understood that it don't make you scared to avoid the BS. Especially, only ones who trying to do that is people who got something to prove. But if you've been in trouble your whole life as a gang member in high profile cases like myself, and the many nights in the cell scared, not knowing what the outcome is gonna be, and them crying nights, you know, when you thinking about, you know, all the emotional stuff that happened to you. I've been there, and any nigga who been in some serious stuff and live in the pattern on the front line, you get to the point where you think they at before they get to the point and openly tell you they ready to switch it up and change their life. I better guarantee you, when you get a gangster like that, tears preceded that decision, because nobody likes living like that. Even the ones like me who glamorized it and made you all think that it was, nobody likes living like that. What's fun about being able to ball out and kick it, but your ultimate fear of end things is death. Somebody gonna kill me. That's what every last one of these rappers think, and that's their subconscious. They don't want to talk about it, but you hear them talking about it in their music. But it's in everybody's mind, because anybody can be touched, no matter who you are. And I know that regardless if Seattle called me one Seattle's most feared gang member, that don't mean that I can be touched. I learned that when I was 17 years old, when I got shot in the back, but by the grace of God, I didn't die. But it taught me a lesson. I learned obedience through the things I suffered. That's growth and development. So that's it for y'all, because I know y'all got a short attention span. So I'm gonna end on this note, but like I said, rest in peace to James McGill, known as FBG, Meezle, and King Von, and FBG Duck, and all the soldiers and brothers that done died in Chicago. This is Real Talk with Tim Mcgee. Tune into the next episode. So like, support, and subscribe. And thank you for those who have.